I want to talk about prospects feeling worthy about the goals that they set out for themselves. I was on a call with a rep today and we were doing a call review, and the person was super afraid of moving forward. It was a big investment for them. I think it was like a good chunk of the money they had in their bank account. And he kept bringing up the fact that he was afraid to move forward and was kind of started to mask it by asking questions for testimonials, reviews, asking questions about the average results, the community, all those kind of things. And sometimes people actually just want to know the information. Sometimes they're very data driven decision making type people. And if the ratios are good enough, if the testimonials are good enough, if there's enough numbers and track record and history, they will use that information to just move forward. They're logistical, data driven buyers. But I could just tell on the call that wasn't this person. This person was just asking these questions to mask the fear and anxiety he had around making what he considered to be a big decision and a big investment. And being able to identify that difference is a huge, huge skill set for sales reps. And what the sales rep was doing on this call was he was flat out answering all of the questions about testimonials and numbers and things like that. And what he needed to do instead was call out the fear and then help him walk that fear over the fence, help him deal with that fear, teach him how to do that. And I do want to make a video talking specifically about dealing with fear. But in this one, I want to talk about one piece of that kind of sequence that we use to help people overcome fear. And that piece is people feeling worth the goals that they set out for themselves. A lot of times, as a sales rep or as a business owner, as someone who is taking sales calls, you're going to be scratching your head, wondering why someone didn't move forward, why they were so worried, why they couldn't, take the information, even though you answered the questions perfectly, you showed them everything they wanted to see, everything checked out, why they still said no, why they still walked away from the deal. And sometimes it has nothing to do with you. Sometimes it doesn't matter how many testimonials, it doesn't matter how many case studies, it doesn't matter what track record, it doesn't matter what is in the offer, it doesn't matter at all what you say or exists on your side of the table. Even if it's perfect for them on paper, sometimes they just don't have the belief in themselves. They don't see themselves as the type of person who can achieve the things they say they want to achieve. Just like how people see bad things happen to people and they say, oh, but that's just them. That won't happen to me though. That won't happen to me though. People do that with their goals as well. They see people achieving big things, big goals, and they say, oh, that won't happen to me though. That's not me. Those kinds of things don't happen to me. So if you have someone who's trying to go from, if we're talking like an income base, if you have someone that's trying to go from making 20, 30K, 40K a year to making like $1 million a year, they might not ever see that as possible for themselves. If you have someone who's been the fat kid their whole life, telling them they can be ripped with a six pack, that they might not see that as possible for themselves, that it's too far away, it's too big of a goal. That is not me. I don't feel worthy of it. I don't feel like it's achievable for me. So it doesn't matter how many stories of the people in your community that you talk to or tell them about, like, hey, this person did it, this person did it, this person that was like you did it. Doesn't matter how many case studies, testimonies, stories you tell them, they're just hearing, yeah, but that's them, not me. Yeah, but that's them, not me. Yeah, but that's them, not me. In one ear, out the other. So you have to be able to identify that in people and be able to address it, be able to have that conversation. And sometimes it's as simple as having them recognize that that is why they won't move forward, because they might not even realize that that's the reason why they're saying no. They just have this weird feeling in their gut. They just it doesn't feel right. I don't think I should move forward. I don't think I should do this. I just have this unnecessary fear. And sometimes it's just enough to have them realize that the fear is only because they don't feel worthy of the outcome, and the outcome scares them so much that they're not even willing to try because, for whatever reason, it could be they're afraid to fail and be disappointed, or to them, it's better to not try than to try and fail. There's lots of reasons behind that. But one really good question I like to ask people at the end of sales calls when I start to feel like that might be it, or start to notice some patterns like that might be it. And usually it's when everything makes sense and they just have this irrational fear of moving forward, and everything is so in their favor that they could, from your perspective, 100% do it, 100% get results. They just, for some reason, won't move forward after you've shown them everything they want to see and everything makes sense. And the question I like to ask those people is straight up, hey, can I ask you a serious question for a second? And I want you to be totally honest with me. That goal of XYZ, say it out. Do you feel like that's attainable for you? Like, do you feel worthy of it? And I'm going to ask it very seriously, and I'm going to slow it down just like that. And usually the response you get, if that is it, is, you'll start to see their wall come down, and, maybe like a moment of realization. And they might be like, man, you know what? I guess I don't know. I don't know if that's something that's possible for me. And you'll start to realize that it's not about trusting you. It's not about the service. It's not about the delivery. It's not about the case studies and amount of reviews. It's just the fact that they don't actually believe in themselves. They don't see themselves as the type of person that gets these things, that gets good things, that gets the life they've always dreamed of. They just got so used to it being a dream, and they were almost willing to settle for that. And they're just like subconsciously pushing off any pathway to it. So sometimes you're going to have to ask that question. Sometimes you're going to have to ask the question if they believe in their goals and believe in themselves truly to move forward. If you see that come up on your sales calls, if the person just seems irrationally fearful about moving forward, see if you can ask that question. See if you can dive into that topic, because a lot of salespeople miss out on a lot of closes because they aren't tackling the root of the issue with people. And it's all about helping people. It's all about helping people overcome those fears and those barriers and unlocking a new level of themselves, unlocking more potential. And if no one is willing to go there with them, they will stay stuck there. So if you're on these calls, if you're experiencing this, go there with them. You will help a lot of people. In another video, I'm going to talk about the full process of walking fear over the fence or over the line. If it is a great product for them, a great service for them, they should do it. It's very transformative. It's going to help them in a huge way. We want to be able to walk them through that fear so they can have enough courage to move forward. And one piece, one chunk of that process is clarifying that they feel worthy of the outcome, worthy of their goals. I'm going to leave it there. I'll see you tomorrow. I got a great video coming out. Have a good one, though.